Hodge Podcast. I am your host, Steve Hodge, and joining me as always is my co-host, cousin, and lover, Kevin Hodge.
In person.
Yeah, we're live from Davenport, Iowa, and by live I mean we're alive in Davenport, Iowa.
We haven't died yet.
Yeah.
I know everyone's happy.
We just decided, well, some shit happened earlier this week, so we couldn't record a podcast, so we decided, you know what? I guess we might as well just wait till Saturday, then fucking record one together when we're drinking in Iowa. So that's what we decided to do. So we're recording. We're drinking some Uncle Jerry homebrew. So
Hodge Garage Brewery, sponsored. Our first sponsor ever. He didn't give us any money, but he gave us alcohol,
yeah,
which is basically money.
Can't give a shout out to someone that gave us any money. But yeah, so if you hear a bunch of farts during the...
Oh, that's good.
Is it? I haven't tried it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be another drunk cast, like the St. Patty's episode, hopefully.
I think we're a little more drunk than we were for St. Patty's, though. We were...
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. I've never drank alcohol in my life.
Well, we started that one at like 9 in the morning, 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
2:30 now.
We would have been awake for an hour, and we had drank maybe a handful of beers before starting it. And then, yeah, it's 2:40 now. We shouldn't be drunk at 2:40.
Just like college.
Whatever. Yeah, so we decided we're not going to do any, like, topic kind of, artist of the week or anything. We just decided...
Didn't want to burn an artist on a drunk cast.
Yeah, because we've had, the fans of the artist write into us angry that we get things wrong, so we don't want to be drunk and get it wrong, and everybody like, you got this wrong. I'm like, yeah, I don't really remember.
You're a church born in Canada, fought against the Nazis back in World War I.
Exactly. So yeah, we just decided pretty much anytime it's me and Kevin in the same room, we're probably going to do something that's just kind of a little topic that we want to discuss. Like last time, we just wanted to talk about drinking songs for St. Patty's Day. So today we're going to talk about kind of our pros and cons, differences between going to a festival or stadium type concert and going to a bar like honky tonk. Because obviously, if you've listened to our episodes, we talk about, well, obviously I prefer bar concerts and everything, so we're going to talk about kind of the differences of why we think differently about each type of concert.
Yeah, it's basically just big venues versus small venues, which really just comes down to a combination of the caliber of the artist that you're going to see in terms of popularity, the differences between the fans and the artists themselves, and then just the venues. And so we've been to a lot of fucking shows, like we've said. We've gone to a lot of different venues, a lot of different concerts. So we figured this would be a good a good conversation to have while we're drinking, because we'll just recall all the stupid shit we've done at concerts, basically.
Yeah, so that's pretty accurate. This beer is really good, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, Uncle Jerry, if you're listening,
thanks, Dad.
Great jerb. But yeah, to start off, before we get into our topic, obviously we usually do our rants or news or whatever, but we didn't really look up too much news. It was also a pretty slow week. There wasn't too much going on, but
I wouldn't know. I didn't look.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I read Saving Country Music every day, but there was nothing really like noteworthy that worth kind of mentioning over anything else. So we figured first off we could go into what we did last weekend of when we also drank too much alcohol, but we saw
just enough. We saw Cody Johnson and
nothing else.
Yeah, no, exactly, absolutely. But it was a big weekend for the podcast, I think, because, shout out Wes if you're listening. It was great meeting you. So if anyone remembers who has listened to all of our podcasts, or at least the last couple, we were a little harsh to Whiskey Riff, especially this one article written by a guy named Wes. So what happened was Wes listened to our podcast and knew that we were at the Cody Johnson show. He tweeted out at me that if we were at the show, we should come take shots together. I responded saying, "Where are you at?" He let us know he was next to the bar, and we went up, found him, started talking with him, took shots of Jack, kind of just, shot the shit about country music in general. And I have to now officially go on record and be like, dude, I am real sorry about the shit that I said before, because
If you're listening, you know that last week I apologized for calling out someone's character for an article that they wrote, and Kevin refused to apologize to him for calling him out. And
however, now that I met him in person. He's a real genuine dude. He's from a town that I've worked in before and driven through, and I honestly, so like one of the problems that I had was like I don't think they actually like country music, but we talked with them. Wes is a fan of Cody Jinks. He's a fan of Sam Outlaw. He's a fan of Cody Johnson. He was at the show. He said he was going to go to Whiskey Myers, but they had an awesome trip to Tortuga. So, like, who's not going to go? But yeah, so we met Wes. I feel like
we buried the hatchet.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's a real cool dude. I honestly follow Whiskey Riff stuff now so that I can see some of their articles. Granted, there's still a lot of articles that I hate. However, I do still believe they're fighting the good fight, because even if they only put out one or two articles that I really like, each year, they're still putting an article out there about an artist that deserves traction out to a site that has a couple 100,000 people visited a day, and like that I feel like looking back on it is a real good thing to do.
Yeah, and listening to their podcasts, I heard them, say like, even if they have just a handful of people come up and say like, because of you, I started listening to so and so. That's honestly the exact same reason we started our podcast. We wanted to be like, everyone knows that Thomas Rhett, Luke Bryan, Sam Hunt, Gooch, and all these big name artists exist, but we wanted to be like, yeah, we understand that those guys exist. I mean, obviously, we started the podcast more so to talk about people rather than shit on other people, but we've shit on a lot of people.
Well, just realize that I'm a very angry person.
Yeah, but the reason we started the podcast is we wanted to tell people about artists we think that should have like a voice. Like, we've had people say they started listening to Shane Smith and the Saints because of us, Cody Jinks. People have just started listening to music that's better because of us, and I'm not trying to brag and shit, but it's so cool.
Brag.
Yeah, a little humble brag. But it's so cool to know that people are listening to music that we think deserve an audience because of this podcast. And I know that that's exactly what they do. Obviously, they promote the bigger artists because I don't want to speak for them. It gets clicks. It gets this and that. And they honestly like the music.
Keeps them having a good audience. And I can't bash them for doing that, because we've said multiple times before that if we could do shit like that, we would.
And if they genuinely like the music, like I said, I don't care if you're a fan of someone we don't like. It's just we like talking about the people who we think are under the radar, who deserve the voice. I don't hate mainstream country. I don't like it. I don't listen to it. But I'm not going to hate on an artist just because they're more popular. It's just that I want this is what I will say, the better artists out there. I do want their names out there because people like Whitey Morgan, Cody Jinks, Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell, they all deserve to have their names out there. And when people like the more mainstream people get out there, we don't like it as much, but like, it's not that we're trying to shit on mainstream, it's that we wish more unknown artists were in the mainstream. And I know Whiskey Riff does the same thing. We won't always agree with their articles. Honestly, we might shit on our articles because we think they're dumb, as we've done the past 2 weeks. But we just want the best artists to be listened to, like John Moreland and stuff like that. Like, they're the ones who deserve the ears of the masses that more than these people who they go out there and shake their ass for college girls.
Yeah, which is exactly like I joke about, fighting the good fight all the time, but like that's legitimately how I feel. Like we need to be like, I feel like what we're doing is trying to get people to listen to good music because one, I want those artists, which I think are amazing, I want them to have more fans, but I also want like someone who says that they don't like country music, I want them to listen to what I think actually is country music, because if you don't like that, then that's fine. Like, you don't need to like it, but I don't want someone, like, every time someone says, oh, I don't like country, and then I say, like, well, who do you listen to that you don't like? And they're like, oh, well, I don't like, Luke Bryan or whatever. I'm like, well, listen to the shit that I actually like, and then if you still don't like country, that's fine. I just want that, the stigma about what country music is. I don't want this bro country, pop country bullshit to be the first thought when it comes to country, and that's our whole mission.
Yeah, there are two thoughts when it comes to like I don't like country, but like there are the people who go I didn't like country until I heard Sam Hunt. I go, well, you still don't like country music then. And then there are the people who say, I don't like country music because all it is trucks, chicks, and beer. And it's like, yes, that is a big part of, country, but that's you're hearing what's on the radio, the bro country that people are telling you to like. What you need to hear is the heartfelt stuff that, as we've said before, Jason Isbell
plug of your podcast or your playlist.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. The people like John Moreland or Jason Isbell who write just songs from the heart that are so amazing that it's like that's real country. And people think I'm not saying obviously other genres do the same. They show emotion too, but like if you want country for the emotion of real life emotion, that's who you should be listening to. Like I'm not gonna say go listen if you want true country music. Go listen to Luke Bryan. It's not because I don't. Obviously, I'm sure Luke Bryan's a great person, but I'm not gonna say go listen to the song.
We don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never met him. But if you want a song that means something, I'm not gonna say go listen to Country Girl Shake It for Me. I'm gonna say go listen to The Car in Front of Me by Luke Bryan, to The Moon and Back,
Tackle
Box. Yeah, like the songs like that. Those are ones that you'd want to listen to. So when it's just like, oh, Luke Bryan, he's singing, or Drink a Beer. Like
Drink a Beer is a great song.
Yeah, like
that's even a more recent song,
which is written by which is Chris Stapleton.
Exactly. I give him props for releasing that this late into his sellout life.
Yeah, so when people think like, oh, Luke Bryan, he's the one who sings Country Girl Shake It for Me, he sings Kick the Dirt Up, and just like songs like that, it's like, no, that's not the ones we're talking about. Like the reason we love country is because it's so into the soul type music, and when people think it's just like, oh, it's just party music now, it's just like, no.
Exactly. It's what sucks because if you are listening to this podcast, you don't give a shit about country at all. But if you think about the music that you like a lot, like that's your shit, that's your jam. If people just automatically assumed like identified that with some like absolutely terrible artist in your opinion, you would hate it. And that's basically what our deal is. It's like if you were like a classic rock fan and you absolutely love Led Zeppelin or something like that, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, classic rock, I love Creed." Like you would probably be livid, and that's basically what I'm saying right now. It's like, well, fucking no, you can't just say that. Like you can't just group these things together.
You know how I know you're gay? You like Coldplay.
You like Coldplay. Exactly, same thing. If you were like, I love Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah, me too. I love Coldplay. Like you would want to punch him in the face.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's honestly the same thing I hear with people. It's like, oh yeah, the starter pack for liking rap music, it's you like Eminem and Childish Gambino. It's like, there's nothing wrong with liking those people, but when you define an entire genre by those people, that's what gets on our nerve. We got off track. What we wanted to say was,
this is now a rap podcast.
Well, what we wanted to say was it was really great meeting Wes. Like obviously, we'd like to consider him a friend of the podcast. We know he listens at least sometimes, if not every week. We know he appreciates what we do, so we want to give a shout out to him for that because
just really appreciated meeting you. You did not have to tweet at us. You could have just ignored us completely.
Yeah.
And so I really do honestly appreciate you taking the time to want to talk to us because you could have just said fuck these guys. And you didn't need to. He didn't need to do that, and I just really appreciate it.
He could have buried us saying you guys have 20 listeners a week or whatever. I mean, we average about 40. Like honestly, that's what we do. Yeah, 40 listeners a week, which again,
shout out to everyone listening because you guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, which is 40 listeners a week. It's nothing, but at the same time, it's 40 more than we ever thought would listen because me and Kevin started this podcast just thinking like I remember we were just texting one day and we're like, we should just start a podcast talking about music we like and that people should listen to. And we just did it. We bought the recording equipment. We've spent more money on this than we probably should have. But we love doing it because we love. I just spit all over my computer. But we love doing it because we love talking about artists that we are passionate about. Because obviously, I'm an amateur songwriter. I love this genre more than anything. Kevin almost hates mainstream because he's gotten so into honky tonk music. And
I'm an angry person, and I like to rant.
Yeah, and it's just something we love doing, and we love that people are listening. But yeah, so Wes could have easily said like nothing to us about like, this is a podcast with 0 listeners. I don't even have to pay attention. But he shouted out to us. he got to meet us, or we got to meet him, and vice versa, and it was awesome. It's really cool that we got to bury the hatchet and just talk it out and learn, that we both have all three of us have similar tastes. Even if some of his tastes lead more into bro than we do, it's whatever. We all have similar tastes. He loves Sam Outlaw as much as we do. He loves Cody Johnson as much as we do. Cody's
awesome.
Jinx. It's amazing that we're just super happy that, like I said, we're not going to defend every fucking Whiskey Riff article because there might be ones they post that we're like, nah, that's nah. But we're not. But obviously, as I said last week and Kevin said this week, is that we do apologize for ripping into someone's character over an article that
and just ripping Whiskey Riff as a whole, saying it's nothing but shit articles.
Yeah,
that's not the case. Like what Wes was saying to us when we met him was just like, I wrote Cody Jinx article, and no one said shit about it, and then he writes this article about the one that we were ripping apart, and all of a sudden everyone jumps on it. We totally ignore all the other articles that he's written, and I think that's a completely valid point. That like just because it's the one that we see doesn't mean it represents everything else. Which is the same point, which is just a perfect metaphor for what we're saying about country music as a whole. Is just because you see Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, that's not the whole story. That's where you got to dig deeper.
Yeah, so we'll honestly we'll admit our mistakes. I'm never afraid of admitting my mistake, and we'll go forward as fans of Whiskey Riff and them, and like.
Shit, I tried to not admit my mistake, and then dude just straight up was like, "Come meet me," and I was like, "Fuck, dude's cool. Yeah. Damn it."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fuck you guys for being so chill. I just want to keep hating you, but you made it hard. So, but yeah, it was really great meeting them, and I mean, obviously, I hope that it's the beginning of of not a rivalry.
Well, it would only be a rivalry if we could have like anywhere close to the amount of traction that they have. But still, I really do appreciate that he wanted to get to know us, and he likes what we're doing, and that's fucking awesome because that's the whole reason why we did this. Like we just said, getting people to like it, and then seeing people that agree with us, like that's awesome.
Yeah, I got nothing else but.
Say one more goddamn time.
Yeah! But yeah, other than that, obviously that was the highlight of the concert, but the rest of it was a Cody Johnson concert.
Which was awesome.
Which was great, because
we drank a lot of pitchers of beer.
Yeah,
Then we got Popeyes.
I forgot about that. God damn it. We were so drunk. But yeah, if you don't know of the Hodge family or our ability to drink, is that we drank a lot of pitchers of beer, and I don't know why it's something we're good at. It shouldn't be something we're good at, but it is.
I mean, I would take other things, like it could excel me at life, but instead it's just like, you can drink a lot of beer. Yeah. Good for you.
If Beer Fest is a real thing, we could do that.
We will represent Team America. We'll do it.
But yeah, the concert itself was awesome. Cody Johnson, as always, that was my second time seeing him. It was your fourth time seeing him.
Right.
And as always,
he's been great every single time, and he's got great stage presence. He doesn't just, I mean, no disrespect at all to Jamie Johnson, but every time I've seen Jamie Johnson, he
just goes on and
he basically and like his music's so good that he can do that and just be like, yeah, bitches, look at this shit, and just like play the greatest music ever.
Yeah.
But Cody Johnson does have great stage crowd interaction. Like I talked about on one of our early pods, and Steve got to witness it, was when he plays Kiss Goodbye, he says if there's any, active or former military people or, first responders, like put your hand up. Like, so we did that again, which was always awesome. And that song live is amazing. So just ignore the talking part because that song is amazing.
Yes. It's a great, that whole concert hearing with UIM and just everything, it was...
One bone to pick
is
I guarantee it was something with Cody Johnson's endorsement deals, but what the fuck is the deal with not having Coors Light pitchers? We had, it was Bud Light was what we had to drink out of the pitchers, which is fine.
Forgot about that.
Which is fine because it's like light beer is light beer, but every other time we've gone to Joe's, we've been able to drink Coors Light pitchers because, in my opinion, Coors Light's the easiest beer to drink in volume.
Oh, it is the easiest to down.
It's the closest thing to water that you can get. So, I want to drink Coors Light pitchers. And we got there, and all the Coors Light tap handles are taken off, and they're like, I'll get you a bottle. I'm like, well, fuck that. I want the pitcher because it's like $15 for a pitcher of beer. Like, let's go. But yeah, we had to drink Bud Light instead of Coors Light. My only bone to pick the whole night.
I forgot.
But I had to put it out there.
Yeah, I got real drunk really quick, so I forgot about that. But yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, other than like I said, we've said many times on the podcast, is Cody Johnson someone worth listening to? If you get a chance to see him in concert, go. If you like country music, because
seriously, he tours a lot too. Like he's one of those guys where you wouldn't expect him to come to your town, but like shit, I saw him in Iowa City and I saw him in Rock Island, Illinois, as well as seeing him in Chicago. Like seeing him in Chicago at Joe's makes sense because that's where a lot of big people go. But seeing him in Iowa City and Rock Island,
seeing him in Rock Island,
that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So that was a great concert, but. Yeah, obviously the highlight for us was just reaching out or Wes reaching out.
Yeah, getting reached. Like I didn't do anything, and he just said, "Yo, if you guys are here, like let's do some shots." And like that was the coolest. One of the coolest moments I've ever seen was someone with that status reaching out to me like, "Hey, I want to talk to you guys." Awesome.
we did not expect someone who we just pretty much tore a new asshole to be like, "Yeah, let's get a drink together." Like it was.
And he got us shots. I offered to pay for them. He bought them.
Yeah, it was I mean, granted, yeah.
But seriously, that's awesome.
But yeah, like I lost it. I forgot.
Alcohol is good.
Yeah, I've drank a lot of beer today. But yeah, so it was a great concert. Meeting him was great, and we would love to just consider him a friend of the podcast now because like he is a genuine guy. Yeah, like I said, we're not gonna.
Yeah, Wes, I hope it's cool. I'm gonna keep tweeting at you kind of all the time, just because.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna kiss Whiskey Riff's ass or anything, but it was just really nice knowing that the guys who, like I said, I listened to the podcast. They seem like really nice guys.
Yeah, I checked out their last podcast, their last two podcasts too, and it was just. Yeah, no, there's more to the story than just like what we said on our one podcast where we just straight up ripping them apart.
Yeah.
And I do really apologize because like you can't go that hard without knowing the full story, and that was bullshit on my end.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he even explained the reasons he had written it to us, and obviously, as I said, we don't completely agree with it, but we understand where he came from and everything. So. It was really nice meeting him, and hopefully there's a little more in the future that we can discuss and everything.
And anyone who is a Sam Outlaw, John Moreland, Cody Jinks fan, you're all right in my book.
yeah, exactly. If you're a fan of them, then we know you enjoy real country. Because I don't know how many times I have played someone like John Moreland or Cody Jinks or someone, and they go, I don't really like this. But then you play Luke Bryan or Sam Cunn or, I didn't mean to say that, Sam Hunt, or Gucci, and I'm like, if you play any of them for them, and they just go like, oh yeah, I love this country, but you play like this genuine traditional country, and they go, I don't like this. I'm like, well then you don't really like.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And honestly, like it's not a bad thing. Like you're not a bad person if you don't like our traditional country. All I'm asking for is for people who are not traditional country to just stop using the term country. Like that's really all I want. Like if you just stopped saying that you were country, I'd be like, fucking nailed it. Like we have won the fight.
It's as I've said before, they should just kind of split it up because you can't compare Cody Jinks to Luke Bryan. They're just completely different genres. Whether they like admitting it or not, they're completely different, and they should be treated as different genres. Because there's a difference. It is storming. That is thunder.
We're gonna find out if we can hear the thunder.
Yeah, if you can hear that on the podcast. It is storming like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's.
Thankfully, recording this isn't connected to the internet, so if the power goes out, it'll still record.
But I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but
science.
But yeah, like that's the thing is, it's just like I wish that they would kind of split the genres apart and kind of make them their own things. But we did, like I said, we were at the top. We don't have really much. We don't have much like news or anything to talk about. There had been stuff not anything huge major that happened this week. So we're just going to jump right into the topic. Like we said, we don't want to discuss. We don't want to. Yeah, it's a huge drop off.
It's a decrease in quality.
Yeah, I'm going from your dad's beer to
going from Hodge Garage Brew to Coors Light.
Yeah.
Dad, again, if you're listening, thank you for the beer. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was real good. I can't wait to fart it out later. But
yeah, fart if you're lucky. Shit it out later.
Anyway, so we'll jump. This will probably be a shorter podcast, but we're going to jump right into the. I mean, we're 25 minutes in, but we're going to jump right into the topic. What we wanted to talk about was, as we've talked about many, like we talked about with the Eric Church concert and everything, it's just festivals and stadiums versus like bar, honky tonk, countries.
Because there's basically the three type of venues. You've got your outdoor festival type.
It's just an all day concert.
Yeah, so it's either multiple artists all day, or it's probably multiple artists all day. I don't know what time you would have not multiple. But then you've also got your stadium country. So like if you're going to go to for example, like we've seen artists at the Allstate Arena. I go to the iWireless, which is much smaller out here.
Soldier Field, Wrigley Field,
for us. United Center.
Yeah.
If we've got listeners all over the country, y'all go to basically your local big ass thing full of fucking people.
Just a concert that will sell 30,000 to 50,000 tickets.
Basically, the thing that we've been realizing. So like when we were younger and we were in like high school. We wanted to go to all
college.
Yeah. We wanted to go to all these shows because, granted, we wanted to see the artists, and I still want to see. If Cody Jinks is playing the iWireless, I'm fucking going to the iWireless. Like I'm not gonna just be like I'm not going to a stadium because of whatever. But what we've realized is when you see artists in the smaller venue, in like a literal bar, like Joe's Bar is more of a venue type bar than just a straight up bar. Like when we saw him at Ribco, or when I saw him at Ribco, it was literally a bar with a stage. But when you see someone at a bar or a small venue, usually every single person who's purchased a ticket to go there knows the artist. Like you don't just accidentally go there. Whereas it seems to me when you go to a stadium show or a festival for sure, a person just wants to be part of the group. They're just kind of like a fucking lingerer, man. They're just they wanna be part of everything.
I heard that one song.
Exactly, they heard one song. They want to go. Like, I heard it'll be a fun day. We'll just get hammered during the day, or whatever. And so it's less about the music
like I said
as it is about the experience.
Yeah, it's like I said during the Eric Church concert where everyone was pretty much quiet during his first few songs, but the second he played "Drink in My Hand," everyone stood up. It's like, oh, I know this song. It's like you don't care about Knives in New Orleans or Mr. Misunderstood or
Mistress Named Music.
Like you didn't know those songs, but the second he started playing his number one hit on the radio, everyone gave a shit.
Exactly.
But at a small bar, everyone's going to sing along to every single song.
I remember we made, so like a perfect, quote out of Fight Club where it's just like your single serving friends that you only meet one time, but you have a great time. When we were at the Luke Combs show, we met some random fucking dude that I don't remember at all. But since me, you, and Jay were just singing the shit out of all of his songs, he's just like, "You guys are all right," and just like we just got drunk, drank a bunch of pitchers, and we're 5 feet away from the stage where Luke Combs was playing. Which, granted, I got to put a disclaimer out there. Please, your new album, which is some of your old songs, but some new ones, please don't sell out yet. Please give me a couple albums before you sell out.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Yeah,
Luke, if you're listening, which would be amazing.
He's not.
You're awesome, and your music's great, and I love a lot of it, but you also seem to be walking a very dangerous line between going down the path of darkness.
Yeah, because I guess that's one news thing we say is that Hurricane went gold this past week, which is a song we've been listening to for literally a year and a half.
No, when Hurricane first came out, we had already been listening to Luke Combs. I remember She Got the Best of Me came out of my Discover before Hurricane was released, and then Hurricane was released. So like again, humble brag, but me and Steve were part of the first couple thousand listens.
I don't know how many times I shared Hurricane for people and no one knew what it was.
Shit. Okay, so a year ago at Jay's wedding, that was one of the songs that I picked.
A breakup song.
It's a breakup song. Again, shout out Jay or Abby if you're listening. I'm sorry for making you play a Merle Haggard. No, I played it. Yeah, no, I played a Merle Haggard song because I didn't make them play You Never Even Call Me By My Name. They just played You Never Even Call Me By My Name.
Oh,
anyway.
Jay would know that's something
exactly.
you have to play.
But so I made him play because I was a best man, Abby, and
and I was a guest.
So I got to pick a couple songs, literally 2. That's all they gave me. I got to pick 2 songs to play. One of the songs was Hurricane, which is a breakup song, so not great for a wedding. However, it was an amazing fucking song, and people kind of jammed out to it. No one had ever heard of it. Now, if you played that today in the same group of people, how many people do you think would be like, oh, I love this song? Like, fuck everyone. I knew shit.
Like, yeah, it's. I know we're
Dude, I've dropped a lot of F-bombs.
We're being super hipster when this, but I still remember senior year of high school. Love Like Crazy by Lee Brice came out, and I remember hearing that song on GAC, Great American Country, that channel that used to play good music. Yeah, GAC. They used to play good music, and that song played on, and I was like, this song's amazing, and I played it for so many people, and then all of a sudden, because I remember it had a record for being the slowest a song has ever risen from being charted to the top 10. And I remember it went to like top 10 after 50 weeks or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a long time. And it just crawled to the top 10. And all of a sudden everyone's like, I love Love Like Crazy. I'm like, I've been playing this song for like a year. What is wrong with you? And it's just the angry hipster in me that's just like...
That's literally how I feel about Hurricane. Because like, it's got... Well,
that song came out in 2015.
Oh yeah, well so at what point was it? Because it hit like... something million streams and then it kind of skyrocketed. So I don't remember what it got played on or who plugged it or something happened, but like
Bobby Bones.
I was gonna say because like honestly, it went from like the hundreds of thousands, which is still awesome,
yeah,
to like the multiple millions, and then all of a sudden it was at like 19 million before I fucking knew it. And I'm like, holy shit! Like I've listened to the song probably like 50 times, so like see the drop
back to Coors.
The drop off from my dad's beer to Coors is a bit rough.
Just going from Bent River Uncommon to your dad's beer, which is same level, and then to Coors.
Dude, I mean, again, like we said earlier, Coors is the easiest beer to drink in volume, but you've got to get that first half of beer out of the way.
You just have to remember that you're drinking urine.
Well, you got to get that half of beer out of the way so your body's used to it. It's like eating a saltine cracker. Cleanse the palate.
You're a cracker.
Also accurate.
But yeah, so the whole thing, yeah, because I mean, I've been playing, I did open mics all last year. I haven't done it much.
Humble brag.
Pretty much since. I'm not trying to brag because I'm not saying anything. The only time people have ever wanted me to stay on stage was the day Merle Haggard died and I played
taking
Merle
your
songs.
shirt off. What?
Yes, I took my shirt off and everyone's like, he's not that fat. But no, the day
we're gonna go off the rails. I feel it.
The day, yeah, we're a little drunk. The day Merle Haggard died, I went up and I played "Mama Tried."
Oh, that's a good song.
I think I played "Sing Me Back Home," and then I played "Pledge Allegiance to the Hag" by our church.
Oh fuck yeah!
And I played those 3, and that like I felt so good playing some Merle songs up on stage or an Eric Church about Merle song, and the open mic coach, who usually shoos people off the stage to get the next people up, he comes and goes, he's like, covers the mic, and he goes, can you sing another Merle song? I'm like, yeah, sure, what do you guys want? And he goes, I don't know, just play another one. So I played, I think I'll Stay Here and Drink, and I played that, and everyone fucking cheered, and I had never felt better being on stage than that night when people wanted me up there playing Merle, and it was so fucking...
Being on stage, having pants on, too. Like,
my pants were on. I used to be a stripper, so I'm not used to wearing clothes on stage. But yeah, that was amazing.
Yes.
What were we talking about? I'm pretty drunk.
No, back to just stadiums and shit. So the one thing that's perfect, segue. Speaking of Merle, so we've been saying so far that like every time we go to see an artist in a smaller venue like a bar, it's amazing, and the stadiums are not even close. However, there are certain exceptions. So we've mentioned a couple times, I don't know if we really talked about it too much, but a couple years ago on 4th of July, we went down to Austin, Texas, and went to Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic, which was an all-day music festival. But since it was down in Texas, and since it was a music festival, since it was done by Willie and in Texas, it was just basically there was 2 stages and it was just backed up like each one, great artist after great artist. We saw Willie Nelson was the headliner, but no offense, Willie, he was old as shit and kind of like he looked like he was struggling to get the words out. But we saw Willie. Yeah, he was real high. Before him, we saw Merle Haggard before he died. Rest in peace, Merle. Merle's one of the greatest artists ever. Merle sounded great, to be completely honest with you. Even though he was old, he sounded great. But then before him, we saw Eric Church, we saw Casey Musgraves, we saw Sergio Simpson, we saw Jason Isbell, we saw Jamie Johnson. We saw Chris Christopherson. We saw David Allan Coe, who did not have his racist Confederate flag guitar, but he also, again, seemed like he was old as fuck and, kind of on his last limbs. And then there was also, I can't honestly even remember some of the other artists we saw. It was just a full day. Oh, shit. I didn't even say Chris Stapleton. First time we ever listened to Chris Stapleton was that day. It was before he blew up. I mean, again, we're gonna kind of sound like hipsters when we say this, but we listened to Chris Stapleton. It was the 4th of July in 2015. Yeah. And he came on. The guy was like, Chris Stapleton, and we're just kind of like, I don't know who the hell this guy is. He went on, did his sound check, sounded so good in his sound check.
He played Tennessee Whiskey.
That we and all the other people in the crowd were cheering for him, just like, don't go off, like, let's keep this shit rolling. And he was just absolutely amazing. Then he came on, did his set. We literally we logged into our Spotify's as he was playing, saved and downloaded all of the shit that he had done, like, at that moment.
Yeah.
Because he was so good. And then, obviously, everyone knows Chris Stapleton now because he's just absolutely blown up.
Because he had the highest selling CD for 30 straight weeks or something.
Yeah, but so we saw him. And so all of these artists that I'm talking about right now, we saw them in an outdoor festival. Granted, I feel like Texas is just, God's country when it comes to music. So seeing an outdoor festival, if you're going to go to Texas, is probably way better. But, so there's exceptions to the rule when it comes to
that's the thing. We want to talk about pros and cons. It's because the pros was a lot of those artists were people who were known by kind of traditional fans. Like, obviously Eric Church was the kind of the younger crowd bringer in type dude, but all the older people are going to see Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, David Allan Coe. They're the ones. Billy Joe Shaver was there. We didn't end up seeing him, but he was there. And all the older guys are going to see them. So the younger crowd is being brought in by Casey Musgraves and Eric Church. But so it's kind of a different festival. Whereas there's things like another festival that we're going to definitely talk about is Country Thunder, which is about bringing in drunk 16-year-olds to see kind of alright artists because
how much money can we make off of high school kids who are just scamming money off their parents?
Well, because
basically what Country Thunder
is. Willie's Picnic for one day for seeing these legendary country artists. It was $70.
I want to say it was $75.
$75.
But we also bought good seats. We bought actual seats. Yeah, we didn't buy lawn seats. Yeah. We're going down to Texas. We're going to buy plane tickets. We might as well just buy an actual seat.
I bought in amphitheater seats rather than lawn seats.
Yeah.
And Country Thunder is they raise the price every year. $160 for 4 days, which isn't terrible, but the quality of the lineup has plummeted in recent year.
Oh my God, yes.
Like last year, Jake Owen was a great headliner.
Jake Owen was great.
I loved seeing
absolutely poured the whole time we were there.
Yeah,
but
it was great.
It was
Chris Young got
we also got to
canceled.
sneak up to being right next to the stage when we saw it.
We might have jumped the fence and been in the pit when we weren't supposed to.
But we went, and it was great. So, like, granted, I feel like part of my enjoyment of the Jake Owen show was because of the fact that we got to.
Well, he also had a horns section.
Yes, he did, because horns are fucking great.
That was amazing. Like I've seen Jake Owen twice now, and both concerts have been fucking awesome. Like I don't always like his music. Like I'm sorry, Beachin' is a terrible song, but so many of his songs are amazing.
You just don't get it.
Like the one song I was sad he didn't play. I saw he played it the first time I saw him, but the second time he didn't play it was "What We Ain't Got." He did not play that at Country Thunder, which makes sense. But that's also the thing about Country Thunder compared to other like concerts is Country Thunder. The artists only play like their party songs because it's drunk teenagers and early 20s folk
who don't listen to real goddamn music,
who are going there just to listen to songs about like let's get wasted. Whereas like Jake Owen's best songs are like Tell Me. Well, One That Got Away he did play. But What We Ain't Got is one of the greatest songs I have heard in recent years, which is written by Travis Meadows. I want to do a song on him. Travis.
Song? Ha!
I want to do a podcast on him eventually because his songwriting is so sad but so amazing. Like, It Gets Better, Learn to Live Alone, oh God, they're so sad, but they're so good. I want to do an episode on them, but yeah, like when I saw Jake Owen the other time I saw him was the Illinois State Fair, and he was so good there. It was pouring that one also too, actually. So I've seen him twice when it was raining like crazy. But he stopped and did What We Ain't Got, and I lost my shit during that song because it is so good. But it just sucks because like. Country Thunder's lineup used to be so good because it was Luke. Because I remember the first time I went, Kenny Chesney was the headliner. I only went for one day. Kenny Chesney was the headliner. Opening for him was Billy Currington, and way early in the day was Luke Bryan when his newest single was "Do I,"
which was a great song. And
yeah,
so all these artists that you've mentioned are people who have subsequently become huge. Like, absolutely huge. And have some terrible music that I absolutely hate. But they have so much good music that seeing them at that point, which is like, 2011, 10, something like that.
That year was 2009. 10 maybe.
Yeah. So.
Oh, no, it was 10 because it was during Kenny Chesney's 2002 with the 10 tour. Because his song 2 of the 10.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. But yeah, so it was 2010.
Honestly, Kenny Chesney, I've said this before, I don't know if I put it on the podcast or not. Kenny Chesney's best album, in my opinion, is Lucky Old Son. When he does Jimmy Buffett music, I fucking love Jimmy Buffett. So
his tropical music is so
Jimmy
good.
Buffett music is absolutely
Though
amazing.
I am on the minority saying I love Hemingway's Whiskey. I love that album. It's so good. There are some bad songs.
I definitely would not say love, but...
I love that CD. That one, but then like Welcome to the Fishbowl, I honestly never listened to because I heard it was just.
He had an album called Welcome to Fishbowl?
Yeah, that was the one that his duet with Tim McGraw or whatever was on.
He had a duet with Tim McGraw?
Oh, you stopped listening, that's for sure.
No, I stopped listening super hard.
But yeah, he had that one.
In my opinion, his last album was Lucky Old Son.
Well, because after that he had the one that had a pirate flag on it. I can't remember what that CD's called either. And then he had one after that, which was the one that had the American Kid or whatever.
No. So yeah, no, I stand by not thinking that he's released music.
Yeah, Lucky Old Son's a great. I think my favorite CD by him is Road in the Radio, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah. But no, yeah, like Country Thunder, like the lineup used to be just so much better. And I remember going there, and it was just comfortable sitting on the lawn watching the concert. It was fine. Then 2 years later, I go, and that's when I'm at Camp Savage. If any of them are listening to the podcast, yo. But
shout out!
I went up in 2015, and Brett was meeting me up there the day after, so I was going to spend a day alone. So I was like, all right, I'll just go up, set up my tent, go to the concert by myself, drink by myself. I don't care. I'm honestly
Sad.
This isn't a joke. Like I'm a person who's not ashamed to be out in public by myself. Like I'll go see a movie by myself, I'll go eat by myself, I'll go drink by myself. I don't care. I think it's relaxing. But so I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll be by myself. I don't give a shit. I'll go to the concert, enjoy the music by myself, drink beer, do whatever, pass on the tent. Next morning Brett shows up. I show up, a couple of guys. This is the pro that I do have to say about Country Thunder. People at Country Thunder who aren't drunk 16-year-olds are some of the nicest people in the world. Like, I mean, you saw it last year.
I met the Camp Savage dudes, and they were dudes and chicks. There's girls.
Yeah.
But the Camp Savage people, they were great people because I showed up there and just like you just said, hey, this is my cousin Kevin, and I was just like, hey, and then like boom, good. Yeah. Like there was no issues. It was just good.
Like Country Thunder people. Outside of like the drunk teens that go around like stealing shit, like those people suck.
That's the one problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. But the people who are just there to enjoy the music and the beer and just the people, they are some of the friendliest people in the world. That's the one thing I do have to say about Country Thunder that I love. I love the people who are there for the atmosphere. The people who are there just to get wasted and be assholes, yeah, they can go fuck themselves. But the people who are there to enjoy the concerts, enjoy the people, enjoy the beer, enjoy the camping, they are amazing people. Holy shit, it is storming.
Guaranteed they heard that one.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Country Thunder.
Country.
Thunder. But yeah, like the downside is it's just gone downhill since then. Like last year, the headliners, I only wanted to see 2 of the 4 because it was Chris Young who got canceled. Jake Owen I enjoyed, but then it was Gooch and who's the last? Oh, Eric Church actually. So it was 3 or 4 I wanted to see, but Chris Young ended up getting canceled, and then Jake Owen and Eric Church were awesome. Me and Kevin left before Gooch went on stage because we were like,
yeah, no.
Well, we were also like there. We were also dying of dehydration. I do remember that because we went to the side stage. We were chugging water because it was so hot out.
We drank a lot of booze before that too. But
we drank a bunch of pina coladas because they had that.
If you like pina coladas.
Because they had the Malibu tent, and that's where
boom,
and that's where we saw Cadillac 3, and I got you into them because
Cadillac 3 they rock.
Yeah, they're shit. Yeah, they be really good, but so like Country Thunder, it has its pros and cons. It's just in recent years, it's more cons than pros, which makes me sad. But like Willie's Picnic, last year it was Brantley Gilbert who was his opener, but this year it's who is it this year?
Where?
Willie's Picnic.
Fuck, I don't know.
I can't remember. I know we had seen. I'm pretty sure I announced on the podcast who the openers were, but it was like actually a good lineup this year.
This is how you get hate mail.
I know.
You just talked about it, you dumb shit.
I'm not sober.
All right, you gotta.
But
speaking of not being sober, you gotta rant.
Kevin's going to pee. All right, but I guess the other things I'll talk about is like we wanted to talk about festivals, but the other things is the other kind of we put in the same mold, but it's not completely the same. Is stadium country. It's the ones who are selling out like Soldier Field for us, Wrigley Field, Allstate, United Center, like those artists. And like I said during last week or the week before, is being at those concerts, I just realized like I love Eric Church. Kevin loves Eric Church, as we've talked many times about, but just being there with people who know like 4 songs and it just being crowded into this tiny place or this big place but tiny seats are just like I'd rather be in a bar watching an artist I enjoy than being sitting here crowded against a guy who I've been listening to for at least 10 years, just like, oh, it's uncomfortable, but he's singing that song from his album 10 years ago. And it's just like, if you haven't been listening to me, Kevin, I was talking about how we enjoy seeing people like Eric Church at bigger venues, but it sucks being with people who only listen to like 4 songs, whereas we're sitting there
then that seems to be the a symptom of stadium country in general is that so you've got that many more seats, so you've got that many more people who will go.
Yeah.
because like, oh, I know like one song, might as well go. It'll be a fun time. And so they don't give a shit about the older songs, the quote unquote better songs in a lot of cases. And that's what sucks, because I'm like, I want to see this artist real bad, and you all that are here that don't actually give a shit are the reason why these tickets are so expensive, but you don't actually give a shit at all. And like, that's what just kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, and like seeing smaller artists at bars is, like we said, the people there want to listen to every song, but like the biggest example I can think of now is, because he's blowing up, is Luke Combs. When we saw him at Joe's, and it was legitimately empty. Like, it had to have been us and maybe 10 other people sitting there singing every song with him. Everyone else was just sitting there like, oh, it's a Thursday concert.
It was like a $10 concert.
$10 concert on a Thursday. Yeah, we'll sit here and listen to it. And we're sitting there, jamming out like, oh, he's singing, she got the best of me, oh, beer can. Like, we're going crazy, thinking about what he's playing. And at these big concerts, it's, with a small concert, you're sitting there, you have to really get people who want to be there to listen to the music, or obviously if you're unknown, you're going to get randoms in there. But when you're a huge venue, you can afford to have people in there who know every single song, and then the people who are just like, yeah, I've heard of Eric Church, I'll drop $50 on a ticket, let's do it. And then they go in there and sing Drink in My Hand, Springsteen, and Record Year, and then the rest of them are just like, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like, and then just bringing the whole thing full circle. What we've been ranting about for the past, I don't know how long.
Too long.
Yeah, no. Basically, we obviously, that we've been saying, prefer the smaller venues, the bar shows, because the people that go usually care about most of the music. There's a couple people that'll go that don't know shit, but they're the minority in that situation.
Yeah, because if it's a not, like, the most people we've gone to, like Whiskey Myers, Cody Johnson, Aaron Watson, Aaron Lewis, like those people, their concerts are usually sold out. So the people who are dropping, between $15 and $30 to $40, Jamie Johnson, I think it was $35 or something like that.
No, it was.
And so like people who go see them at the bars, they're the ones who are diehard wanting to go see them. But if it is a Friday or Saturday, like one venue I want to talk about was Joe's Live in Rosemont. I saw Josh Abbott band there with Lauren a while back, and like it was a $10 concert, but it was a Friday in Rosemont. So people were there showing up to the concert because it wasn't sold out, and they were there, and I was just like, oh, these people have no idea what they've been playing. So they're like kind of pushing me back, because obviously they want to stand by the stage like, oh, the band is here. But I'm sitting there like, I just want to drink beer and listen to Josh Abbott, because she's like Texas, one of my favorite songs ever. Mm-hmm. And like, but like these big, like these more popular ones in the small venues, like I said, Aaron Watson, Aaron Lewis, Cody Johnson, all these artists are sitting there, and they're sold out crowds of people who want to be there, who want to listen to every song they're playing. But things like Eric Church, where it's $50 to $200 a ticket, people are sitting there just like, yeah, that's something we need to go to. I don't know all the songs, but we should be at that concert.
Yep.
I'm drunk, and I don't know if that even made sense.
All right, yeah. So basically, just again, to wrap it all up, we think the local small town bar shows, because honestly, and the other thing about the bar shows is you could see an artist that you don't really know that well, but if you see them in a bar, you could be pleasantly surprised at how good they are, and then you never know, they could end up being huge. Like, so when we saw Luke Combs, we didn't think that he was going to end up being just absolutely huge.
That's true.
The first time we saw Cody Johnson, he was not small time because he was still big in Texas. But he didn't sell out Joe's bar, and then he sold out.
Yeah, it was pretty
last
open
weekend.
Last time,
Last weekend when we saw him. So like it's shit like that when you see an artist just absolutely killing it, and you're like, wow, like I saw that guy, and then you can be like us and just be humble brag hipsters about the country music shows that you've seen. Just like, yeah, well, I saw him before; it was cool. Exactly. Yeah. So like that's basically what we're saying. Please, if you're a person who likes live music, and if you're a person who doesn't like live music, well, what the fuck? Because live music's great. But two, if you like live music, just look at some of the venues that are around you. If you don't know any venues, just spam our email deal and ask about where you should see people, and if we have any idea, we'll let you know. But like, seeing people in smaller venues is amazing. Please do it. We saw some random old people band last night that jammed out really hard. We were really tired, so we didn't stay the whole time. But
But the bar was like empty, and they were good.
But just go to shows. Do it. Go to local shows. Go to small town shows. Go to bar shows because they're really good. That's the main thesis. That's what we're getting at.
Well, yeah, I have written down a couple, small town bars that we gone. Like Joe's Bar, it's obviously well known. It's even referenced in some country songs and stuff because it's pretty well known Chicago bar. Then Joe's Live opened recently. Like I saw Aaron Watson there. I saw Randy Rogers, Gary Allen, William Clark Green, Josh Abbott. I've seen all these, good Texas artists there. And then, Gary Allen's Nashville, but 8 Second Saloon, I've been there twice. We went there, me and Kevin saw Cody Jinks and Whitey Morgan there.
The best concert I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah. And we were 10 feet from the stage.
Yeah, Cody
and
Jinks
our seats
and Whitey
were
Morgan.
like $20, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that it's so cheap to see these artists that are so good, whereas you can go to, I'm not saying that, these big artists aren't good, but you spend $60 to sit 500 feet away from an artist who's sitting there probably lip syncing, and to go to these small honky tonk bars is amazing. And then obviously the biggest one is Ribco, where
Rock Island Brewing Company.
Yeah, it's a small bar in Rock Island, Illinois, which honestly 95% of you listening probably have never heard of. It's this small bar in Rock Island, Illinois. He saw Cody Jinks there.
I saw Cody Jinks.
We both saw Whitey Morgan. And years before that, I saw Sturgill Simpson play an acoustic set there for $10.
This is the same stage that, shout out Matt Knoll. His band plays that stage. Knoll. It is Knoll.
Knoll.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fuck off, Steve. But no, his band plays there on that same stage. That's how, no offense to the real Quaid, but that's how small town this bar is.
Yeah.
That it's not huge, but then they've gotten guys like that to play, and that's one of the most amazing experiences of your life when you have an artist that you care about, as much as I felt about Whitey Morgan and Cody Jinks when I saw them there. That was absolutely amazing, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's get it going. Yeah. To sum it all up, it was just there are pros and cons to both. Festivals, we're not going to say don't go to festivals because obviously, as we said about Willie's Picnic, there are some worth going to that you're going to sit there all day. Especially in Texas, I've seen so many lineups that down there where it's just Wade Bowen, Randy Rogers, Roger Krieger, all these just great artists that are in there, but then of course there are the ones that are crappy because Country Thunder, it's just turned into less about what the music is and how many drunk teenagers can you get there to enjoy it. And then with us, so what we say is we like bars more because it's hardcore fans that are there. Also beer's cheaper at these bars, because you go to a festival, it's $8 a beer, where there it's $3 for a decent beer. But you get a bucket of Coors for $10 or something. It's just the whole thing is it's just don't avoid bars because an artist doesn't have a number one hit on the radio. Go and listen to good music because that's how they get exposure. We saw Luke Combs when he was a near nobody, but now he has a gold CD, gold single. God, I'm drunk. And it's just we saw him when there was no one there, and we sat there singing along to every song. I'm not saying go out be a hipster, but support good music. Don't just follow the fucking crowd of, oh, this guy had a number one song, we should go see him because he might play that one number one song that we know. But anyway, so yeah, festivals versus bars win.
Basically, yes.
Anyway, moving on. Albums coming out this week, or yesterday, I guess, because we put this up late. There are 3 CDs, all quality, I'm sure. We haven't listened to them. We're going to kind of change up how we're doing this, because I don't want to be oh, this CD's coming up. Can you give me one? This CD's coming up, and I haven't listened to any of the songs, but it might be good. So we're going to kind of change it up where we want to do CDs that are coming out, and then kind of the next week review them a little bit. So this week, we'll review them next week. But this week, what came out was Old Crow Medicine Show. They had a CD called 50 Years of Blonde on Blonde Live. So I'm guessing it's a live CD. Honestly, as I've said before, I don't know things. I'm not a researcher. So it sounds like it's a live CD of songs that they might have already released, or else it's songs they haven't released and they're just doing it live. I don't know. But it's Old Crow Medicine Show, who, as everyone knows, sang Wagon Wheel, which is the most overplayed country song at
Just
parties.
a drunk bar song.
It's a great song. It's just overplayed. But yeah, so that one's coming out. Willie Nelson has a new CD coming out called God's Problem Child, and Dalton Domino, who's amazing, has a CD coming out called Corners, or they came out. So I will listen to them this upcoming week, and next week we can actually have a review on them. So that's what I want to lead into, is we want to start, instead of just saying, this might be good, we might listen to it, you should maybe listen to it too. I mean, unless, obviously, like I said, I want to say that they're coming out, so if you are a fan, you know that they're coming out, but you already know they're coming out. But, so albums from last week that we had discussed had come out. The first one is Charlie Worsham, Beginning of Things, came out. Very good CD. We both listened to a bunch of songs from it. I listened to the whole CD. I played a couple for Kevin. It was good. A lot of the CD isn't traditional country. It's very kind of soul, bluesy, R&B type country. It's not traditional, but it's really good. My favorite song from the CD is called Old Time's Sake. It's a really good song. I'll put it on the playlist. Just listen to it. It's a good CD. If you want to listen to it, it's not going to be a traditional album, but it's definitely worth checking out. You have anything to say about it?
No, I just listened to it today, and we started drinking early this morning, so I don't have a real opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, next was Jason Eady's self-titled album.
Yeah, Jason Eady's self-titled album was absolutely amazing. I'm a huge Jason Eady fan. I think the last podcast, when we talked about this album coming out, I kind of ranted a little bit about how much I liked him. But honestly, this is one of those where when I started listening to it, I looped it. I just looped it probably a good 3 or 4 times. Granted, I was driving home for the Cody Johnson show, so I had plenty of time to just listen to music. But I honestly looped it 3 times probably in a row because it was absolutely amazing. So I would encourage just checking it out in its entirety. However, the singles that I would say to just check out if you haven't checked them out before is the songs Why I Left Atlanta, Barabbas, and Where I've Been. Those are honestly my favorite 3 from the album. But yeah, just Jason Eady's self-titled album. Eady is how you spell his last name. I think he's absolutely amazing. I think the album's very good.
Yeah, I think that's probably the same albums I would say, or same songs I'd say to listen to. Yeah, those are all amazing. Because Barabbas is by far, I think, my favorite. But other than that, next was Love and War by Brad Paisley. This, in my opinion, is his best CD since This Is Country Music, because Wheelhouse, I understood it was like him trying to go off on his own and be like, oh, this is what I want everyone to hear, but it wasn't really that good. And then Moonshine in the Trunk, there were like 3 good songs on it that was just like, overall the CD itself was not great. It wasn't good, but this one I feel is his most true to his own sound album he's had since This Is Country Music. So I definitely suggest listening to it. I mean, honestly, like, even songs as stupid as Selfie # The Internet Is Forever is a funny song. I suggest listening to it. But, like, his songs Today, Last Time for Everything is good. Heaven South is a cringeworthy laundry list song. But he has, like, Mick Jagger on the CD, John Fogerty, Timbaland, randomly. Bill Anderson. He has like all these good ones. Like Grey Goose Chase might be my favorite like upbeat song, because it's just like I'm trying to drink her off my mind, but it's a failure, so I'm going on to Grey Goose Chase. Like they're just really good songs. Like it has the most good songs, I feel, since this is country music. Overall, it's not an amazing CD. I give it like a kind of a good. It's not a great CD, but I definitely suggest checking it out. You have any opinion about it?
Yeah, I don't want to be a dissenting opinion, but I don't know. Like, in my opinion, it just is a continuation of Paisley continuing to not be anywhere close to as good as he used to be, which is just really sad and annoying. But it's definitely not as terrible as some of his recent stuff.
Yeah.
But it just, like, I can't listen to just like you said, just a good Paisley album anymore because I know how good he is. So, like, hearing something that's just, like, average, it just bugs me how it's not, like, why can't you make good music again? You have made so much good music for so long. And so I think it's worth checking out because I know that there's a lot of people who have different opinions than I do. But I'm still, like, he's still not there for me right now.
Yeah. Last from last week was Angelina Presley's Wrangled. My favorite song from it is this titular song, Wrangled. It's the whole CD, other than a random song with Yellow Wolf, it's just kind of random, but the whole CD is a very good, outlaw-ish, traditional country-sounding album. I really like it. Like I said, Wrangled is my favorite song from it. It's one worth checking out. Like I said, we probably wouldn't really talk about CDs we don't like. We probably will, especially since I do want to switch off to these are the CDs coming out, these are the ones, and then we'll review the ones from last week because that's kind of how we spend our time is listening to music. So, but yeah, this CD, it was definitely overall very good. It's not like Brandy Clark quality, but it is a good CD. I enjoyed it. Like I said, Wrangled, the title song, is my favorite. But overall, it's a good CD. I've played a couple for Kevin, and
I don't remember what they're called.
but yeah, it's a good one. Next is Daryl Dodd. I should have done some research about this CD before it came out, but as I said, I don't really do much research because this isn't a full-time job for us. But his CD Long Hard Ride came out last week, and it's mostly like a greatest hits song or CD, but every single song is
it's featuring someone who's great.
Yeah, like so Cody Jinks is on it, Randy Rogers, Wade Bowen, I think John Fogerty's on it. It's just every single song has this amazing artist on. I think Cody Johnson is on a song. I don't know. But like it's an amazing because it's a lot of songs like That's How I Got to Memphis, with someone with Cody Jinks.
Love Letters and Cigarettes.
Yeah, Love Letters and Cigarettes. Like it's an amazing CD. He does a cover of The Ride by David Allan Coe to start it off, and it's an amazing CD. I definitely suggest checking it out. He sings with a lot of amazing artists, and it can even, if you listen to this CD, can branch you off to these artists that he's featured with, and you go listen to their stuff, and it's amazing. Next was Josh Thompson, Change the Lost Record. It was a good CD. A couple songs were very, like, laundry listy a little bit, but it was at least a CD where it was a legitimate instrument playing every part. There was no electronic drum beat playing with every song. It was a legit band. Josh Thompson has never been one to really fail me because he has obviously songs like Way Out Here and like just he's always been a decent artist. So this CD is good. It's not one I would go to the top of the mountains and shout about, but his songs Over Me and I Like to Believe in That, I'll add them both to the playlist, but those are my two favorites from that CD. They're both amazing. And then finally is Matt Mason, The Writers Collection Volume 1.
Yeah, Matt Mason's CD, it's similar to the Daryl Dodd situation where it's mostly, it honestly could be all songs.
They're pre-release songs.
Yeah, it might honestly be all pre-release songs, but there's a couple of them that I don't remember seeing before. But I've been a Matt Mason fan for a while. His Chasing Stardust EP is one that I've had saved for a while. But so this album is kind of just a compilation of songs that he's released before, but it's amazing because it's just songs that I've liked for a very long time, and so now he's just got them, basically just stacked up in a row the way that I want to listen to them. So the ones that I would basically just say is if you listen to his Chasing Stardust EP, that's a great EP, and all those songs are on this album. But then also the song "Liquor," which we've mentioned before, is just an absolutely amazing song. So check out Matt Mason's, the new album, the Songwriters Collection, because you will not be disappointed. But if you're not wanting to check out an entire album, I would say listen to Liquor and then listen to the Chasing Stardust EP, because those are the songs from the album that are best.
The songs I'll add to the playlist will definitely be Liquor. Well, Liquor's already on there, but the song E, that song is so good. I'm so angry at myself I didn't hear that song before this, but that song is so good. So good. But yeah, so that's how... I mean, we might do it a little more in depth in the future, but yeah, we kind of want to switch it up from rather being like, oh, this CD's coming up this week. We don't really know anything about it, but it's coming out, so maybe listen to it. I don't know, maybe. So we kind of want to do like, this is what's coming up, but these are the ones that we've listened to, and this is how we feel about them, because I feel like that would be a little better insight to it to help you listen to. Obviously, there's a bunch of CDs come out every week, so we want to help people hear about it. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna kind of do it from now on. We're only 8 podcasts in, so we're still learning how to do it, how we should think we should do it, how we should help everyone. So yeah, that's kind of how we're doing it. But what we're listening to with me, it's pretty much just been everything that came out last week. I have nothing to add to it, but did you listen to anything outside of it?
Basically just what we've been talking about. The one other band that I've been listening to was a suggestion from Wes, actually. Was the band Midland. They only have a 5-song EP and then a Spotify Sessions album out on Spotify, so they don't have a whole lot out there, but their 5-song EP is really good. Their top song on Spotify is called Drinking Problem, and it's a very good song. So I would say check them out. The band's called Midland. They're really good. But the other shit I've been listening to, just Jason Eady and Matt Mason mostly.
Yeah. But yeah, so this podcast went a lot longer than I expected it to, but
we fucking rambled.
We're drunk and we ran a lot, so I need... Oh, God, I'm drunk. Anyway, so I guess we'll finish up with some plugs. Hit the theme, Kevin. Exactly. Yeah. So if you wanna hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can catch us at the Hodgecast. Gmail is thehodgecast@gmail.com. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/thehodgecast. Spotify playlist if you want to hear about all the songs that we rant about and to say, hey, listen to it now. It's Hodgepodcast Picks. If you want to buy the shirt that we prematurely put up for sale, it's called tpublic.com/user/Clifftron. My Facebook and Twitter are Steve Hodge Music. Kevin's Twitter is Charchford. That's about it, right?
That's it.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So next week we'll discuss Sam Hunt.
Stay tuned.
Yep, it's gonna be a good one. So this is Steve Hodge with Kevin Hodge saying until next week, goodbye, good night, and good Charlotte.